All right, guys. Well, welcome to the call. I'm excited to have on with us today Boris Mayzlin. It's going to be exciting to hear his journey. It's exciting to hear what he's doing. And guys, if you guys are in a place where you're looking to make some adjustments, you're looking to figure out what can I do to write more business, help more families, make more money, you want to make sure you have a pen and paper, you're writing down notes, and not that you just take notes, but the point of these trainings, the point of sharing what other agents are doing is so you can execute on them, right? If you're just taking notes and you're not actually applying the information to your business, you're never going to get to where you want to go, okay? So take what you're going to learn today, apply it to your business, make one small tweak, two small tweaks, right? Just all you're doing along the way, guys, is you're making tweaks in your business, in your phone script, in your lead flow, in your delivery, in your in-home presentation, but you're making tweaks along the way to fine tune who you are and how you do the business, because at the end of the day, all of us are different. And at the end of the day, all of us are going to say things and do things a little bit different, but we're going to stick to the basic flow of what we do day in, day out across the entire organization. So that's the great thing about it. So, all right, Boris, you ready to rock?
I'm ready to rock and roll.
All right. So welcome to the call. First off, Boris, nice to finally actually get on a call with you, man.
Thank you so much for having me. It's an honor and a pleasure to be on this call with you guys.
Awesome, man. Well, Boris, why don't you start by just share with us a little bit about your journey. How did you get introduced to FFL? What did you do before? What does it look like for you? Let's start there.
Okay. Well, I'm originally from the business loan space. I used to manage a portfolio of business loans, a multi-million-dollar portfolio of business loans for about 12 years. And then back in May 2020, you had introduced me to life insurance in the beginning of the year of 2020. I got licensed in May 2020. And I finally decided to start the business part-time in 2020, in August of 2020. That's when I wrote my first policy. And I was part-time through the end of March of 2021. And then I had decided to take the leap of faith and quit my day job. And it became full-time. So last year was my first full-time year. The last, 10 months of 2021 were like my first full month, my first full-time months.
Okay. So your first few months here, Boris, was it smooth sailing for you?
It definitely was not. I struggled so much in the beginning. I sucked. I was horrible. I didn't have my word tracks correct. I struggled with my script. I was nervous. I wasn't confident. And it took me a little while to start getting the hang of it and start booking appointments to the point where I felt confident to, leave my day job. So it took me about, I think almost a little under a year to quit my day job.
So what helped you gain that confidence in your phone script? What helped you start booking more appointments to the point where you had more success?
Well, it definitely took a lot of practice. I never gave up. Every single day, I made sure to work hard. When I was part-time, of course, I worked around my full-time hours. And I just made sure that I put in the time, effort, and energy every single day to get better. I made sure to watch a lot of training videos. Of course, I even role played with you. I remember in the very beginning, it's a vivid memory in my mind when I role played with you the very first time. I was so nervous. And I remember I asked you how I did. And in order for you to not make me feel so bad, you said I have the right mindset. I remember that conversation. So I was horrible. I sucked so bad.
Well, I had to be gentle with you, right? I didn't want you running away. And but no, well, that's good, man. I think everybody goes through that to a different extent. Some people get it faster, some people don't, whatever. But let's talk a little bit about what's changed, because I think it's to no surprise. Everybody's seen the change in your production over the last, few weeks, right? And also it goes kind of hand in hand with convention. So talk to us a little bit about your experience at convention. And what was the kind of the shift there that happened for you coming out of convention? And we'll kind of break it down some more.
Okay. So first of all, it's been exactly 25 days since our annual convention. All right. And I remember last year, I went to last year's annual convention, and I only went for maybe half of one of the 3 days. And I remember having this conversation with you, like you were really upset that I didn't attend all 3 days. And I didn't understand back then why that was so important. So this year I made sure that, I attended all 3 days. I sat in the front, I took notes, and I just got really inspired by a lot of the top producers, the Hall of Fame producers, the key speakers. Mark Mead was definitely one of the most inspiring speakers on stage. His whole conversation about sowing seeds, keep planting those seeds every single day. Don't stop, don't give up. So like, that's my mentality now. Like, I've had a shift in my mindset since then, since hearing Mark Mead, for example, and his speech about sowing those seeds. It was just incredible to hear that. And it made total sense because he also struggled in the beginning. I think what resonates with me now and what we can all relate to, every top producer, every Hall of Fame producer struggled in the beginning. Nobody was good in the beginning. So I look back at last year and, I struggled, I suffered, I made a lot of mistakes. So I took this annual convention. I made sure that I absorbed as much information as possible. And, I took a lot of notes, and I still go back to those notes every single day. I read those notes in the morning, afternoon, and the evening. And, it all starts with your attitude. So what has changed? My attitude has changed. My mindset, I make sure every single day that I have a positive attitude and that I work with the right mindset, and that, I am looking out for our clients' best interest. Whereas last year I may have been hungry for commission more so than I am now. So I don't even look at it from that standpoint anymore. I'm looking to help as many families as possible. And I know that, the commission will just keep rolling in as long as I focus on helping families.
Okay. So let's talk a little bit about that. So obviously mindset shifted, right? You heard a lot of speakers, you got inspired. Not only did you get inspired, it also sounds like you've kept that energy with you every day, because you're reading your notes from convention in the morning, afternoons, evenings. So you're constantly planting that seed in your head to keep pushing you forward. And you're right, man. Everyone that I know has struggled in the beginning. There's no one that's just came in and it's been a walk in the park. I struggled when I started, and I don't know how many of you guys know this, but when I started, I also sucked, but not only did I suck, but it was very frustrating coming from another insurance company, thinking that I can apply what I learned there and I'm just going to automatically be good here, because it was a different ballgame, right? It's the approach is different, the style is different, the activity is different. There's all these differences, but in my mind, I thought I can walk in and just be great. And I think most people think that, right? And I think the reality is you can be great if you stick with it long enough and you get through the mental hurdles and you get through the different challenges, because no matter what we're going to accomplish in life, guys, we're going to come across challenges. And it's, how do we get through those challenges? Will we push through, or are we going to get smacked in the face, sit down, quit, and go do something else, right? So proud of you for working through that, Boris. So let's kind of break it down and let's actually peel the onion back a little bit, as people like to say, right? So talk to us a little bit about what your lead flow looks like, because from my understanding, you're running a little bit of a hybrid method. Is that right?
Correct. So I make sure that I maintain a high level of activity, right? Activity is very important. So not only am I working every single day, even if it's not a full day, I make sure that, I put in as much time, effort, and energy into every single day, because you want to prospect on a daily basis. Okay. You want to make sure that you speak to as many families as possible to give yourself that chance to succeed, to pretty much to put yourself into that position. So my strategy, I am a hybrid agent. I do focus on both face-to-face and telesales. Okay. So, and that's how I stack the odds in my favor, because I'm constantly speaking to people over the phone. I'm constantly visiting families. Every single day I'm booking appointments. I'm writing policies almost on a daily basis, even on dial days.
So let's be more specific. So what leads do you purchase?
So I definitely love our instant internet life leads that are available in the CRM, and they're constantly on sale. So that's amazing. Also, the new internet life leads, I love those. And I accept life transfers from EverQuote. So I focus mainly on instant internet life leads, new internet life leads, and life transfers from EverQuote. I do buy some mortgage protection leads, the old 1 month and 3 month old mortgage protection leads. I do buy those as well. But mainly I focus on internet.
So talk to us a little bit about what your lead strategy looked like before you did this. Were you focusing on just maybe one lead source? Were you like, what was going on for you? And then how did it shift to this?
So when Family First Life adopted the virtual sales platform, I figured I would want to give it a try and just purely focus on telesales. And I didn't have enough volume of calls coming in. I wasn't writing enough policies to sustain a high level of production. So I figured if I go back into the field and have a combination of both face-to-face and telesales, I can produce at a high level. So, so I'm basically focusing on both. So again, this gives me the opportunity to speak to as many families as possible and give myself the chance to present myself in front of as many families as possible.
Okay. So was it scary for you to get more leads? Were you like, because I asked that because it was for me when I started shifting my lead strategy, diversifying my lead strategy, but also increasing it. So
yeah, it was definitely scary, especially in the beginning. I mean, if I go back to last year, I was definitely scared I was very scared of investing in myself and purchasing, leads. I wasn't really sure. I wasn't confident in my ability. I didn't have that skill set yet to make sure that, okay, I can run through all these leads. I can convert all these leads the way I am now. So, if I compare, this year to last year, I definitely feel a lot more confident. And, I feel like I can work any lead that I buy, and I can certainly convert those leads into policies.
So what have you learned? So now that you're investing, you're buying more leads, what have you learned in this process in the last, month, 3 weeks, whatever it is?
Well, I've learned that all leads work, right? All leads work only if you work them. The problem that I had before was that I was not overcoming objections. So now, I'm able to easily overcome most objections. That gives me, again, a higher opportunity, a bigger chance to sit in front of more families. So as we know, it's all in a numbers game, right? So
let's talk about that, Boris, because this is a training, right? There's a lot of new people on here that are coming to learn, and they're coming to learn from you, man. They're not coming to learn from me. They're coming to learn from you. What are you doing, and what can they apply from what you've been doing? So what are the most common objections you get? I'm sure you get, I already got this taken care of, right?
That's very common.
Okay, so let's role play a few of these, okay? Because I want to hear your word tracks, and then guys, if you're dealing with this, write it down and figure out what makes sense and how you apply it. This will also be posted online later, so if you need to refer back to it, it'll be up. But Boris, you pitched, you're trying to book an appointment. Hey, Boris, you know what? I already got this taken care of.
Okay, perfect. That's exactly why I'm calling. We just need to verify your coverage so you can stop receiving these phone calls. Are you currently working, retired, or disabled?
I'm working, but I'm good.
Okay, well, exactly. So I just want to make sure that we did place you in the best possible position. I'm going to be servicing your area tomorrow and Friday. I have a 6:30 and a 7 p.m. available. This will take about 5 minutes for me to mark off that you did receive the coverage that you had requested.
What was this for again?
This is regarding your life insurance request. Again, I'm just a state-appointed local field underwriter. My job is just to get the information out to you. I'm going to verify your coverage really quick. It takes about 5 minutes. I'll mark it up in our system so you can stop getting these phone calls.
Okay, so that's that one, right? So now we went through another call, right? And now it's I don't have time. Hey, you know what? I got to run, Boris. I don't have time right now.
Perfect. That's exactly why I'm calling. I don't have time either. This is just going to take about 5 minutes for me to get the information out to you. Are you currently working, retired, or disabled?
Working.
Working. Perfect.
What time I gotta go.
Okay. What time do you get off? What time do you get off work?
I'm usually done by 5.
Okay, fantastic. I have a 5:30 and a 6 p.m. available. What works best for you?
There you go. Okay. What's another one that we get?
I'm not interested.
Hey, Boris, I'm not interested.
Perfect. I'm not interested either. My job is just to get the information out to you. What you do with it is entirely up to you. It's going to take me about 5 minutes just to come out there really quick, give you that information. What you do with it is entirely up to you. I have an available 9:30 and 10 have an available 9:30 or 10 a.m. available. Are you currently working, retired, or disabled?
Okay, so same thing every time.
Right, exactly. We like the whole purpose of asking those questions. Are you working, retired, or disabled? You want to know. You want to clear their calendar, right? So if they're working, you know that they're more than likely going to come back home from work in the evening. If they're retired or disabled, you know that more than likely they'll be home all day. So you want to clear their calendar. You want to find out when are they going to be home. It takes less than 5 minutes. My job is just to get the information out to you. What you do with it is entirely up to you. Okay. That's it.
So did you?
Right.
I'm assuming you said you got better at handling objections, right? So what did you do before?
Before, I would just say, okay, great. I would just hang up the phone. I would just say, okay, thank you.
Just hang up the phone?
I would just give up. I would just, quietly give up. Like, okay, cool, great, thanks. I appreciate your time.
If you guys are watching, let's be honest with yourselves. How many of you guys have done that before? I have, right? They say something, you're like, you get stumped, or you just believe what they say, right? And you're just like, all right, whatever, and then you move on, right? So this is why 80% of this business is on the phones. Because, Boris, are you seeing more clients now?
I certainly am. Absolutely.
Okay. And do you think that has a direct connection with your business?
1,000%.
Okay. So there it is, right? And that's the thing. I think when I look back at my journey, guys, I was in a very similar situation. Like, I had a tough time overcoming objections on the phone. And then once I simplified it, just like Boris did, where no matter what a person says, he's basically saying the same thing. Perfect. That's the reason for my call. Perfect. I'm not interested either. Perfect. I just got to get you this information, right? Like, you're saying the same thing. And doesn't it make it more simple for you to just, no matter what they say, you already know what you're saying, right?
Correct.
So,
and Jared had a question. I don't mean to interrupt. He asked if I talked this fast on the phone during my telephone call. So it really all depends on who I'm speaking with. So if it's a younger individual and they sound like they're busy, I try to speed up my tone of voice. If they're older, I slow it down.
So give us a slow response. What is a slow, Boris? I'm an old man, right? Hey, right. Yeah, I'm not interested, Boris.
Perfect. That's exactly why I'm calling. I'm not interested either. My job is just to get the information out to you. What you do with it is entirely up to you. I'm going to be servicing your area tomorrow and Friday. I have an available 9 a.m. and 10 a.m.
Now, was it hard for you to slow your tone and your pace down?
Yes, I think it was. I believe the more nervous you are, the faster you talk. But it's very important to gauge your tone of voice and basically kind of like read the person over the phone that you're talking to. Are they younger? Are they older? They seem like they're in a hurry. So you kind of have to meet them at their level, right? Okay. But I think the slower you talk, the better. The more clear you talk, the better. So obviously, this is like my first agency call, so maybe I am a little nervous, but
okay. You're doing great, man. Doing great.
Thanks.
It's all about your mindset, bro.
Right, exactly. So this is good practice for my next for the second half of my dial day. So
there you go.
After I get off this phone, I'm going to book 10 more appointments. Okay.
There you go.
So
all right. So all right. So Riyadh dropped a note. Write these rebuttals down. Have them in front of you. Respond to each objection until it's habit. If you aren't actively trying to get better, you aren't growing through the motions of your dial day, you'll never get better. It's true, right? You got to get better. You can't just go through the motions. So right. What other things, Boris, what other tips would you give folks? What did you learn? What are some other things that maybe you've changed in the last few weeks that's really making a big impact on you?
That's a good question. So, I mean, look, again, in my opinion, right now, my main focus is just my attitude, my mindset, right? My goal is to just serve the people. I know that, again, if I look out for the best interest of the client, that I'm always going to win, because I'm looking out for their family. I'm not being selfish or greedy with myself. And, I just think with that mindset, with that mentality, you're never going to lose. So if that answers your question, I'm not sure, but
yeah. Have you done anything different in the home?
In the home, I really haven't done, I mean, in my opinion, I just, when I'm in the home, I feel like I'm more confident now. You know, I always make sure that I give enough eye contact. I make sure that, again, I'm there to help them, right? So I let them know that, you know, I've had a lot of pushback in my in-home presentations where the individual will tell me, oh, I'm not buying anything here today. And I'll let them know, perfect, I'm not here to sell you anything. My job is just to get you qualified. My goal is to go through your eligibility and see what you qualify for. We can't make a decision today. We can only submit your request for coverage to see if you qualify. And then from there, I get them very comfortable. They give me all of their information, their bank account information, their social security. And at the end of the appointment, they're very happy and satisfied that it came over to help.
Awesome, man. So I think there's a few things that have happened here. And I think this is something that many of you should take note of, okay? And I look back at my journey, I look back at a lot of different folks' journey, and just listening to Boris and what he's talking about today, I think there's a few things. Number one, in this business, it's kind of like baking, right? Baking, it's kind of the best analogy I got. It takes time, right? You gotta prepare the dough, whatever you're making, the cake, you put it in the oven, and it takes time to finally get to the point where the cake is done, right? And I look at our business, and a lot of times someone's time to bake the cake, if you will, or time to mature in this business, for some people it's faster or longer, right? And so I say that because I think for you, Boris, it sounds like you went through this process where you were preparing, you were going through stuff, and then over time, you kind of bake that cake. And what I mean by that is you got ready, right? You made the decision. You made changes to the point where now you're ready. That might not be the best analogy out there, but that's kind of like what I see and what I kind of hear. Because even for myself, it took months for me to kind of hit my stride, but it all started with a decision. Would you agree?
I totally agree. Absolutely.
So that decision for you sounds like it happened right at convention. And a lot of times events do that to people. They have that type of impact. So if you miss an event, a lot of magic happens at events, right? And so the point I'm trying to make with this is guys, if today's day 1 or today's day 15 or today's day 90, you can't quit, number one. If you do, then that's on you. But if you don't, what you're going to find out is you're only going to get better. Today, Jordan Lowry has said this before, today's the worst day that you can be in this, right? You're not, by practicing, by making tweaks, there's no way you can get worse, right? So if you continue to get better at whatever pace it is, you're eventually going to get to where you want to go. And so I challenge you all to constantly look at the mirror and ask yourself, what are the things you need to get better at? Is it mindset? Is it booking appointments? Is it both? Is it your in-home, right? I mean, there's little intricacies to this business because this is a business that is based on people, right? Our entire business, whether you're building or you're selling, is based off of people. And if you're basing it off of people, it's how are you interacting with these people, right? Do they genuinely think that you care, right? Do they genuinely think that you have interest? Now, here's something that I heard that was actually a game changer for me in appointments. And I want to share this with you guys, okay? So back in the day, I'd say this was about 2 years ago, I called up Paul McLean, Boris. I called up Paul McLean. I'm like, dude, I don't know what it is, but I cannot help a family. I cannot close a piece of business for the life of me. And he's like, well, what are you doing, right? And I would talk to him a little bit about my in-home presentation, talk to him a little bit about what it looks like, feels like. And he's like, you know what it sounds like, dude? I'm like, what's that? He's like, I dealt with this. And I think Sean Mike told him this. I don't remember who. But I vividly remember getting this feedback from Paul. And Paul goes, see, the thing with you, what it sounds like is you're trying to be interesting. He's like, once I realized that I'm not trying to be interesting, but I'm trying to be interested in the person or family that I'm sitting with, the whole business changed for me. Because what's the difference, right? When you're going to be interested in the other individual, number one, they know that you actually care and you're there for them, not for any other purpose. But number two, they're going to be more open to sharing about themselves. They're going to be more open to actually just doing what they need to do for themselves. Does that make sense, Boris?
Makes sense. Absolutely.
Do you think that has applied to your business? Like, have you seen that correlation at all?
No, I totally agree. It's getting back to looking out for the best interest of the client, right? Kind of want to find out exactly why they want you to help them, right? Kind of like build their why, right? Why are you there in the first place?
Exactly. Exactly. And so, and the reason I share that and becomes top of mind, guys, is not only did I hear that from Paul a few years ago, but it was a reminder. I got a reminder yesterday. So I'm reading this book, How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie. If you guys haven't read that book, fantastic book. I'm about midway in. How to Win Friends and Influence People. Okay. In there, one of the principles he talks about says, become genuinely interested in other people, right? So you want to make friends, you want to build relationships, you want to get new clients, recruit new agents, become genuinely interested in other people. And now people are going to be interested in you because they're going to reciprocate the feeling, right? Whereas if I'm closed off and I'm not sharing much, that other person is going to give me that same energy I'm giving to them. Okay. So great book. If you haven't read it, I'd go out and read it. But it kind of reminded me of that. I know we got on a little bit of a tangent there. But Boris, as we wrap up, any last pieces of advice, tips,
Yes.
anything you want to share with the people on here today of what, something that can help them go out and help some more families?
Absolutely. I was just going to mention how inspired I was by one of the key speakers at convention, Dave Anderson. He had mentioned success lies in your daily routine. All right, that's so important. Last year, I wasn't exercising. I didn't work out. So this year, for example, I make sure that I go to the gym every single day before I start my work day. Okay, that gives me a jump start to my day. I feel better after working out, for example. That's important. Last year, I didn't work the weekends last year. This year, I'm working almost every single Saturday and Sunday. So that makes the biggest difference. As you know, like we always talk about how, Monday through Friday, we work to pay our bills. On the weekends, we build our wealth, right? You've heard that before. And you just have to train like an athlete, pretty much take this serious. Don't give up, believe in yourself. And that's basically what it is. It's just a matter of putting in that time, effort, and energy. And I remember last year, there were many days or there were so many times when I just had wanted to quit and give up. And I'm glad that I stayed the course and I decided to stick with it. And this year, I'm having some success. I've helped 35 families since the annual convention. And I'm looking forward to continue helping at least 10 families per week, right? 40 families per month. And that's basically what it is. Just looking forward to, I still have a lot more to learn. I have a lot more room to grow. And I'm definitely not perfect. I still make a lot of mistakes. And I'm just looking to, work as hard as possible. And, hopefully, I will become a Hall of Fame producer. That's my goal for 2022. I will become a Hall of Fame producer.
I love it, Boris. I love it. I'm proud of you for sticking with it. I'm proud of you for bouncing back. I'm proud of you for all the challenges. Guys, drop a clap emoji. Show Boris some love. This man fought through some adversity, had the mental toughness to keep fighting, not quit, put his back against the wall, and went out there and made it happen. So, Boris, I'm proud of you, man. Great job.
Thank you so much for having me.
You got it, man. Keep it up, brother. And I love the affirmation that you are going to be a Hall of Fame producer. There is no doubt in that. That's an affirmative statement. So now you just got to work to make it happen. So guys, I hope you guys got some value out of Boris. If you guys got some value out of what Boris shared today, drop a BM in the chat. Let's show BM some love. And guys, let's go out there. Let's have a great dial day. A lot of you guys have been on, active, sharing. Let's continue to do that. The more that we dial together, the more we're going to win together. The goal this month in March is 800 families helped. I'm going to show you guys real quick before it goes up. Here's the leaderboard for this past week. So as we wrap up, we helped 113 families this week. It's actually, I think there's a typo. It's 133 families. Sorry about the typo there, guys. But you got our top 5 agents, and then Julio and Bonnie are new agents out there. So great job to everybody. We had 47 people write business and help families. So great job, guys. Hey, let's go back out there. Let's finish the dial day, set 15 appointments. If you guys need anything, you know where to find us. Till next time.